Medicine is a field of science, knowledge, service, and most importantly, change. The medical field is always changing because that is how it progresses. And progress is made by those who are able to see these changes occurring and adapt to them. Today, I will be talking about some of the changes that are occurring in the medical field because being knowledgeable about these changes is important for everyone. One of the biggest ways the medical field is changing is the increased demand for advanced practice nurses. For those of you who don't know, an advanced practice nurse is a nurse that has postgraduate education. An example of an advanced practice nurse is a CRNA or nurse anesthetist. Because the demand for advanced practice nurses is having such a big impact on the healthcare field, I will be comparing and contrasting the education, training, and role of advanced practice nurses versus doctors. The first point I would like to make is that the education and training of advanced practice nurses is different from that of doctors, not only in length but in content as well. The number of years it takes to become an advanced practice nurse is about 8 years. The first 4 years are spent earning a 4-year degree, usually a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, or BSN. The next 2 years are spent doing clinical rotations, usually in the ICU. And the last 2 years are spent on specialized training. For example, someone who is trying to become a nurse anesthetist would spend these 2 years specializing in anesthesia administration. In contrast, the number of years it takes to become a physician or doctor is anywhere from 12 to 15 years, depending on the specialty. Just like advanced practice nurses, the first 4 years of education for a doctor would be spent earning a 4-year degree, usually a Bachelor's of Science. However, it is not necessary to major in a science course to gain admission into medical school. In fact, through my research, I learned that you can major in anything you want as long as you maintain a good GPA and get a good score on the MCAT. The next 4 years are spent in medical school. Then you go through residency, and the first year of residency is internship. Then you have about 3 to 5 years of clinical rotations, depending on the specialty. For example, an anesthesiologist has a total of 4 years of residency, 1 year for internship, and 3 years for rotations. And you may further elect to specialize, in which case you would do an additional year of fellowship. For example, instead of just doing anesthesiology, you would become a pediatric anesthesiologist. The content of the classes that students who are going to become advanced practice nurses in is different than the content of the classes the students who are planning on becoming physicians take. For example, a student who is planning on going to nursing school would take a nursing course that covers biology concepts that are used commonly in nursing, such as human anatomy and physiology. Whereas a student who is planning on going into medical school takes the same biology course that a person who is majoring in biology would take. And these courses are usually a more in-depth coverage of many of the concepts in biology. The way that the difference between the content of the courses has been described to me is that the nursing students learn the what, and the medical students learn the why. And what I mean by this is that a nursing student would learn what concepts to apply to medicine, whereas a medical student would usually learn why those concepts are applicable to medicine.